Genuinely don't know what made me want to do these POVs when it comes to street photography. I think it's because as a street photographer, as a hobbyist, I was always perplexed by how these people get to go out and get all these amazing shots. So here I am photographing crows on cars. I mean, seriously, I wanted it to be very honest and open about just how it was. I am not a very good street photographer, or at least I don't think I am. You can tell me otherwise and inflate my ego. Perfectly okay with that. I started off taking pictures of things that I sort of saw around me. One of the big things that really annoys me about the area I live in is the rubbish, and it's always been inspired me to highlight and use my art. I thought this picture was great, and then I realized it wasn't in focus, but I kept it in to show you. Even I'm pants, I don't know. I wanted it to be honest. I kind of looked for stuff that was interesting. I wanted to look at textures. As you can see, it's a really bright day. I try and challenge myself all the time. The reason why I do the POV is because I want you to see me basically F up along my way. Maybe you're watching these videos and you see a point, you go, Khandie, why didn't you get that? Or why didn't you try this? Also, maybe don't adjust your camera so much on the trip. Yeah, I know. You see how beautiful this day. Look at that contrasting light. I want you to play with that. You are going to see me nearly get hit by some scooters because I'm completely annoyed that they are even in the way. They're not meant to drive down there, but they do anyway. What can you do? Our council's not great on policing that. Anyway, I'm looking for different things. I'm so often trying to chuck people into pictures, and I wanted to find some inspiration away from that. Perhaps maybe it doesn't always need to have a person in the photos. Maybe I need to challenge myself to shoot textures and those lights, but I still fall into having people in my shots because I find people incredibly interesting. They can also give you an idea of what a place is about, or also they can be a juxtaposition to the place you're in. People dress really glamorously in maybe a rundown area, or people dressed in sports gear in like a really highbrow area. I don't really know. I like having people in my shots, but I also know that the way the world is going, people don't necessarily want to be in shots, so I try to mix it as best I can. So here I am just walking through the town. Look at that sunshine, and do you know what's worse? It's going to be all rain from here on in. It's absolutely destroying, isn't it? So I'm just looking around for some shots. I thought I had shots, and then I haven't included them because frankly they weren't even in focus. I tried to get like a blur of people walking past in this shot, but and you'll see me adjusting my settings here quite a bit because I wanted to get like this sort of motion blur of people. And just when I got the shot lined up, no one walked past, and I was like, I'm too pale to be hiding in this sunshine. I need to be out. And I just realized I hadn't got the shot, so I thought, do you know what? Let's just walk away. Now, if you don't know about Northampton, we are quite famous for going bankrupt twice. Also, they built this entire posh. Look, there's the scooters. Look how close they get. Whoa, they're not even meant to be there, but apparently they are. Anyway, they built this walkway, right? And then they opened it for 2 days, I think it was, and then closed it back up to demolish it, and already this walkway is damaged. This cost millions of pounds, but it's already damaged. Okay, welcome. And the thing is, it's, I'm not here to poo-poo that they did it. Okay, it makes the place look nicer, it does. But one of the things that I've discovered is Northampton doesn't necessarily appreciate when stuff is given to them, because you will see the endless amount of rubbish tucked in between the slats on the seating area, and also just the fact that rubbish is left everywhere, and there's even graffiti already. I think it's kind of disappointing, but it's very reminiscent of the times or the mood in Northampton, perhaps. But I do love a bit of rubbish. I don't know why. There's something quite nice about it, which is weird because actually I hate it. But I really like this Heineken shot. I don't know why. All the squares, all the lines, everything. So I did try and get some shots. I didn't get some great shots. I thought there was this shot that you're going to see now with this guy sat as a pedestrian and the arrow pointing the wrong way, but unfortunately I didn't frame it right and it was blurry, so I haven't included it, but I feel like I need to own that and tell you I did not get it. I'm shooting here on an 85mm, which is not actually the choice that I would normally have for street photography, which is again why I'm challenging myself. I think it's really important as a photographer to challenge yourself. You should not be sat here thinking, I'll just go out the usual. I think I get quite stagnant as a photographer when I do that. I also try really hard to maybe do pops of colour. I'm not a fan of it being done in Photoshop. I like to do it here. So here I am shooting all the orange tones. It didn't work, but I wanted to include it. Also, I take kind of, I feel like I went through the same route I would do every day. Every day I walk this route pretty much. I stop at my friend's cafe, I grab a coffee, whatnot, and then I go and do my errands in town. And I wanted to see if I could see a different perspective on this. I spend a lot of time, if you follow my social media, photographing the rubbish in Northampton to highlight to our council we have a fly tipping problem. It stops people with accessibility issues getting past it all because it spills out onto the street. By the way, this is actually my friend's cafe. So here I am photographing his fridge because I felt like that was a great shot. No, it wasn't. But I'm trying. that's the thing. Street photography, I do to challenge myself. I feel like I become a better photographer because I literally don't know what I'm going to shoot each day. I don't like going to, like, everyone goes to London, right? Or they go to these big cities and they're like, oh, this is where I'm going to be an amazing street photographer. I don't think you need to. If you're a good photographer, surely you can find it everywhere. But even in London, you can do loads of misses. Street photography for me is like trying and often failing, and maybe once in a blue moon you get something that's absolutely amazing. One of my favorite shots I've got is this woman in a yellow dress in Oslo walking. I love it. It really makes me happy. It won in a photo competition, and I don't think I've ever shot anything better than that to date. But I'm always looking for something. I don't know if I'm inspired so much by other street photographers. I know I have a massive inspiration with Wes Anderson, but even then, I don't adopt that sort of symmetry all the time. I have a thing where I like people, but I'm also acutely aware that not everybody wants to be in my shots. And although they're in public and there's this, you're in public and you should be allowed, I don't necessarily think that's always a good thing. I enjoy walking around, but I would imagine I wouldn't want to be in someone's shot, at least not identifiable, okay? But I look for things that are in plain sight that we see rudimentary all the time. Look at that ugly reflection in the camera, it's me. Like this, pedestrians look both ways. It doesn't have a significance, but it's something about like the ordinary. Maybe that the fact that I saturate the colours a bit more, maybe that's what makes it stand out. I'm trying to find, dare I say, art in the very mundane of life. Now, this is one area I walked past. It was where a homeless person was living for a while. They're not there now. I also don't advocate for photographing the homeless. I find it uncomfortable for me. But I did see the stall and it had a lollipop on top. I don't know why it intrigued me so much. There's literally a stall, a green stall in the middle of nowhere with a lollipop on it. And I kind of liked it, all the green tones. And then I shot directly down top of it because I thought there was a shot there. I don't think I lined it up right. But you know what? I kind of like it equally. I don't know, there's something about it. There is something about it. But here's the thing, I look at street photography and there's so many people who think like, oh, it's elitist to be it's got an elitist feel. And I'm not alone in saying this. I see many people on YouTube and Instagram talking about this. I don't think street photography is elitist. I think we have been perhaps there are people out there who are walking around with Leicas, and the Leicas obviously have a massive price tag on them. You can do street photography with just your phone. There is no need to be in a major city. You can go out all times a day. If you really want to try and challenge yourself and be a better street photographer, go out at all times of day. Don't just go out at golden hour. Don't just go out, when you think it's going to be great. Like, go out all the time. I mean, I'm very lucky. This is a bright sunny day, but you yourself will know high contrast light, it's not always the best. And actually, this is bank holiday Monday. There's not that many people out. I I also just want to see what it is I'm missing when I'm walking around. And using the 85 mil isn't my natural one to use. I normally use my 40 mil, or I cheat and use my 24-70. But you know what? Having 85 mil meant that I was able to get this shot of these two matches just piled up. And I kind of like this. This not only tells me about the something I'm passionate about, the fly tipping in Northampton, but I also love the art that around it. And also, I know you're gonna hate me. I kind of feel like it's an ode to today's society. But I go back to what I said about you don't need people in the shot, and I appreciate that not everyone wants to be in the shot. I'm going to take a shot earlier, which was actually accidental. I had wanted the back of this lady because I felt like at the time her top and trousers combo kind of matched the building behind her, and as it turned out, it didn't, and I missed the shot. But I still really like it. I like the fact she's not identifiable. I like the fact that she's there, and there's all these beautiful tones, and she's got this beautiful hair blowing across her face, so you can't see her face. There's something quite lovely about it. You can see her here. The grey of her top matches the grey of the building. And I decided when I took the shot, I didn't quite get the angle I needed. So I had to change how I was doing it. But I like it. It's that best shot. I'll probably not ever share that one beyond this video. And then I recall this shot someone did, I can't remember which photographer, here in Northampton, who took like a shot of the colours of the Aldi sign. I think I was judging a competition and I saw it. I didn't want to copy what they did, but there was something about pop art that I really like, the art movement of pop art, and I also love really retro colours, as you might have seen from my branding of my own website and my own logo. And there was something about the colours of the Aldi with the black stark contrast and the blue that I really liked. This probably isn't great, but I like it. There's something about walking around your town and you start to observe things and you know certain areas and you look around. I don't think Northampton's ugly. I think it's very interesting. I think it has a lot of great points. It's got some bad points, like every town. But there's also these really funny things, like where it says like like signs like this that are surrounded, right? And it says, notice, no this, no that. This literally what everything it says not to do in on that sign literally happens at that point. I also don't know what these two couples were looking for in this rubbish. Someone did say they were looking at the bin dropped off. I don't want to cast aspersions on anybody, but they were looking ferociously in what I can describe as grot. You might have seen that lamppost I shoot a lot, so I try to keep away from stuff I've already shot. So, let's walk down the street. I walk down this a lot. One of the things I noticed though on the street is that there's quite a lot of overflowing rubbish bins. I love this sign. I just found it in the gutter. It's quite nice. There's a lot of overflowing rubbish, and I wanted to highlight that because it's something I really enjoy about photographing rubbish to highlight to the council that we have a problem. Like rubbish day was today, and yet there is overfilling rubbish bins, and they wonder why litter gets blown down the street. I don't know. I tried to find interest in the ordinary. I mean, even down to photographing this car that had bumped up onto the pavement. I mean, God help your alloys, dude. I hope they're okay. Uh, but yeah, I don't know if I'm a great street photographer, but what I will say is you need to get out there more to be better. So this is me getting out there more. I hope you enjoy these POVs. They are shot on my Insta 360 Go. There's a link below if you want to have a look at the camera. They have brought out a modern version. Fingers crossed I'll eventually get that. But I just like the fact you're seeing it from my view as best possible, without it being on top of the camera, like you're watching me walk through the streets, which is really important for me because if you see a shot that I've missed or one that has interested you, I would really love you to tell me in the comments. I learn from watching other people's videos, but I also learn from seeing how people comment on those videos. So if you do, please comment. I would love to learn. And if you can recommend a video that I should watch or how I can improve, anything like that, please put it in the comments because I find street photography a really nice, sort of mellow way for me to unwind. I don't find it stressful. I find it a really nice way. And you'll just start seeing this figure coming into focus there, and that's my friend. I took a quick portrait of him. But anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video. Hopefully, if you like this one.